So Ed, we had some real curious stuff going on here. Number 6 wire right here on the distributor was basically sending a signal on number 6 to a spark plug every time any plug fired. So 1 and 6 were firing together, 2 and 6, 3 and 6, 4 and 6, 5 and 6 were all firing together. So obviously, that was making it run super rough. We originally thought it was carburetor, so we rebuilt the carburetor several times over the course of a couple of days. And I think we need to send it out for a professional rebuild, because I say professional, we're professionals, but we need to send it out to somebody that does nothing but carburetors, because whatever's wrong with it, we can't find it. It will flood. We can set the floats to where it won't flood and overflow, but that's not the proper float setting as described in the carburetor kit. So we're going to just send it to a guy that does nothing but carburetors every day and let him sort out why that's the case. But we sorted out, what we did sort out was the fact that we were firing on number 6, 1 and 6, 2 and 6, 3 and 6, 4 and 6, 5 and 6. If you can imagine, 6 firing just whenever the hell it wanted was wreaking havoc. This thing wouldn't run worth a crap. So what I realized was this was originally made, the distributor was originally made for 6 volts. So all we had to do was jump from here to number 6, and that was evidently what was going on. Every time this was firing, not only were we sending fire to number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we were sending fire to number 6 every time. So with 12 volts, we had twice the jump, we had twice the spark voltage, we had twice the 12 volts on the coil, twice the spark voltage, twice the spark distance that it would jump. So I went first thing this morning and got a resistor block, and it immediately ran good again. So so that's good news. We got to the bottom of that crap. Part of it was just the cap needed to be cleaned on the outside as well as the inside, and then the top of the rotor needed to be cleaned as well. So once we cleaned all of that, it quit tracking. I actually laid the plugs up here. I'm gonna grab one. That plug right over there. Anyway, laid the plugs up here, and I ran the engine with that plug in place, not operating, and stuck an extra plug that we had right here, and the spark just was almost continuous and at random, whereas all the other sparks were one spark for every 2 revolutions, like clockwork. This one had all kinds of sparks, and we had discovered that on our last night at about 7:30. We discovered that with our timing light. But I thought, well, maybe that's just a ghost voltage. Maybe it's not really enough voltage to make a spark. But no, it was making a spark. I wish I could have videoed for it. I've never seen anything like that, and I've been screwing with engines since I was 20 years old, and never ever seen that happen. So at any rate, got this resistor. I'm going to replace it with a resistor that's got just a little bit more ohms, and that'll drop the spark voltage even further, and help us even more. I tried to get a whole new set of clean spark plugs because with the problems we were having there, of course, they were fouling, so I'm going to have to go get a spark plug cleaner because I can't get spark plugs till next Tuesday. Also, this was professionally rebuilt, and I'm going to take it to a different rebuilder because this guy will not produce any or generate any electricity. Either that is that, either it's not generating electricity, or this brand new voltage regulator is not right here is not working properly. One of the two. But I'm going to take those to a guy that does nothing but alternators and starters, and take it to him and see if we can't get this going as well. So that's the latest on the project, and I think yeah, probably changing your vacation is a good idea, because this will probably take a couple weeks at the very least, and their carburetors have been taking like 4 weeks. So we give them a lot of business, so we're going to ask for special handling on this one and see if we can get this one through quicker than most. And so anyway, that's the long and the short of the saga of this engine. You've not been being a pain in the ass. This engine has been a pain in the ass. Even once we got the other carburetors off of here and put this on, it's like, what in the world? And like I said, I'd never seen a plug fire along with every other plug in a system. So got you the video that I just sent to you of how this does run. It runs well, and we'll get these other things solved for you, and so you don't have to solve them. They'll be ready for you when you get back from vacation. Or when you get ready to go to vacation. You know what I'm saying. Right here, hopefully this is still, we'll have one of these still on your linkage, on your shift linkage from your floor shifter. So hopefully you've still got one of these. I robbed one off of another engine, so if you've got one, I'd like to take this off and keep it. If you don't have one, this is of course yours. The other thing to think about is you should have a nut on your copper pipe. Your exhaust pipe should have a nut on that would go on here. There's a packing that goes in that, but make sure that you have the same hookup. Of course, there'll be a cable for your choke that goes to here, and you'll have should have a linkage. Be like, well, there it is, a 1/4 inch brass rod, and there'll probably be a bell crank down here that'll change the motion to up and down. And so without further ado, I want to do some more touch-up painting, and I want to clean all this soot off from when that's actually coming from the carburetor. That's another reason I want to send that off and get some people that do just carburetors to take care of that for us. And anyway, that's it. Thank you, sir.